Good day, I'm Jane Parler, and here are the latest headlines. However, Putin's decision on February 24, 2022, to send tens of thousands of troops into Ukraine has posed the greatest challenge of his rule and has led to a significant confrontation with Western nations, marking the most serious diplomatic crisis since the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. Vladimir Putin, a former KGB agent, has been a dominant figure in Russian politics for over 2 decades, serving as both president and prime minister. He is widely credited with bringing stability to Russia following the tumultuous period that followed the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. In a statement that has raised eyebrows around the world, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov asserted today that if Russian President Vladimir Putin decides to run in the 2024 presidential election, no one will be able to compete with him. This statement comes as Russia grapples with the aftermath of its military intervention in Ukraine and increasing tensions with Western nations. Dmitry Peskov was quoted as saying the president has not yet announced that he will nominate his candidacy. But if we assume that the president stands as a candidate, then it is obvious that there can be no real competition for the president at this current stage. Peskov also emphasized that Putin enjoys the absolute support of the population. The war in Ukraine has not unfolded as planned, and in June, Putin faced a rebellion by the Wagner mercenary group led by Yevgeny Prigozhin, who later died in a plane crash. In response to Russia's actions, the West imposed the most stringent sanctions ever on Russia's $2.01 trillion economy, prompting Moscow to pivot toward closer ties with China. Chinese President Xi Jinping expressed his confidence in Putin's popularity among Russians and his potential success in the upcoming presidential election during a conversation in March. Putin's approval ratings have remained high, with the Levada Center reporting an 80 approval rating in August, even surpassing his pre-Ukraine war ratings. It's worth noting that these approval ratings are derived from polls conducted in Russia, where a significant portion of the population relies on state-controlled media for news. Polls also indicate that approximately 70% of the population supports the Russian military's involvement in Ukraine, though some opposition politicians and Western diplomats question the reliability of these polls. As we look ahead to the 2024 presidential election in Russia, it remains to be seen whether President Vladimir Putin will officially declare his candidacy and whether the international community's concerns surrounding Russia's actions in Ukraine will have any impact on the election. We will continue to follow this story closely and provide updates as they develop. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for more news and updates.